How's it going, YouTube? This is TalkF bringing you another video, and in today's video we're going to talk a little bit about the new starter Pokemon for the new Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. So, what you're seeing right now is a little gameplay from an indie game called Rodina on Steam. This is a nice little game. Similar to the vein of No Man's Sky, where it's just randomly generated planets and asteroids and whatnot. Nowhere near the same quality, but that's okay. Anyway, so what I'd like to talk about is the new Pokemon, their types, a little bit about their descriptions, and we'll see, which one I think would be my pick for when I get the game. So we have the usual 3 Pokemon types. So we have a grass type, we have a fire type, and we have a water type. Let's start with the grass type. So interestingly enough, the grass type is not just a grass type, it's a grass flying type. It's a grass flying type Pokemon known as Rowlet. It's a cute little owl Pokemon. Its classification is the grass quill Pokemon. It's a very small, sort of roundish looking owl thing with a little bow tie. Super cute. I really like that one. And the type combination that it has, I think, is really useful, especially as a starter Pokemon. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next one on the list here. So the next Pokemon that we have is our fire type Pokemon, and the fire type Pokemon for this generation is going to be known as Litten. Now, it's a fire cat Pokemon thing, so the whole thing with the Litten is sort of a play on words there. So this little this little fire type cat Pokemon seems pretty powerful. I think he's going to be a pretty popular Pokemon going in. So we'll see. Now, aside from Litten, we have also, of course, our water type Pokemon, and the water type for this generation is called Popplio. So Popplio is a sea lion Pokemon. Kind of looks like a clown, I guess. That's what people are saying, and I agree with it. It does kind of look like it has that little red nose and the little frilly collar thing going on there. Kind of cute, I guess. Not really for me, but if you're into that. Now, interestingly enough, usually when I play a Pokemon game, I generally pick the fire type for my starter. It's just more of a tradition. It's what I did when I first got Pokemon Red back in the day. I picked Charmander, and since then I just stuck with fire types. Just sort of a tradition. But for this generation, I'm really leaning towards Rowlet for several reasons. Now, Rowlet's a grass type, which is fine. Usually very helpful in the beginning of Pokemon games against gym leaders and whatnot. But I think one of the really cool things about Rowlet is that it can fly. It's a flying type Pokemon. So obviously it can learn flying type moves, I'm sure. And I think that'll be very helpful, because usually early on there's a lot of bug type Pokemon, a lot of fighting types and stuff like that. So I think it'll be useful. And it can also, since it's a grass type, it could also hold its own against rock and ground type Pokemon, which I think will be useful. That said, I think all of them, of course, have their uses. So, just basically pick, as usual, just pick whichever one you like the most and you'll be fine. These Pokemon games are not really meant to be super tough. It's just like, you pick whichever Pokemon team you like, whatever looks the coolest, and you could definitely beat the game, no problem. Alright, so those are the 3 starter Pokemon. All pretty interesting, all pretty different looking and whatnot. So, pretty nice lineup. Now, as far as I know, there are no indication as to what their evolutions are going to look like. So who knows, maybe that clown Pokemon is going to end up evolving into a really awesome looking you know, giant walrus beast thing. Who knows? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Litten obviously is going to become like this giant tiger beast, I'm sure. And then Owlet, I hope he's not gonna look like a Noctowl with vines coming out of his head or anything. I hope he becomes something really, really awesome. You know, looking like a legendary bird or something. That would be kind of cool. Now, usually in Pokemon games, especially the most recent ones, there's usually like a hybrid type. Like as soon as they reach their last evolution, they usually evolve into some kind of hybrid type. Like last gen, the starter Fennekin ended up evolving into a psychic fire type. So you know, and stuff like that. There was some Pokemon that was like, I think, water dark, and you know, just different combinations of types. So I'm sure we're gonna see that here. I think Owlet's probably gonna be the only one that stays the same. That's my opinion on that. He's probably just gonna stay a flying grass type, which is fine. Now, aside from those 3 starter Pokemon, we still have a few other Pokemon that we know of so far that will be in the game that are brand new. Alright, so after the 3 starters, we have Megiana. Megiana is a steel fairy type Pokemon. Kind of looks like a maid. It's going to be in the new Pokemon movie. For those of you who are interested in watching that, I'm not sure if I will, but you know, who knows? Maybe if it shows up on Netflix or something. So there's Megiana, steel fairy type, which is a interesting combination. That'd be useful. Now, aside from that, we have the 2 legendaries. There's one for each of the versions of the game, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Don't have a name for them yet, but on Pokemon Sun, there's like a big lion creature thing. Not sure what its type could be. Looks like it might be a fire type. Looks like it might be a fairy dark space. I have no idea. I guess we'll see what happens there. I apologize if I'm sniffling a little bit, guys. I'm kind of getting over a cold here. But on the Pokemon Moon game, we saw an interesting little picture of sort of like a giant bat thing. Look kind of creepy. I'm guessing it's like a dark type. It has to be a dark something, you know, dark type with some other hybrid mixture there. So I guess we'll see what happens there. And aside from that, we haven't had any direct visuals of any other new Pokemon. But of course, I'm sure Nintendo's got a bunch of weird looking Pokemon up their sleeves. I think we're up to like 700 or 800. I lost count already, guys. So if any of you know, please leave it in the comments below. But those are my thoughts on the starter Pokemon. So I'm probably going to be going with Rowlet. But let me know what you guys think. What Pokemon will you be starting with? Which version of the game also will you be getting? I'm still a little torn. I'm not sure which version I want to get. Probably leaning a little more towards Pokemon Sun, but I'm not too sure yet. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, this is TalkF signing off. If you like this video, please drop it a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a nice day.